Good evening, Ambi. Welcome on the show once again, and I've got to say, pretty easy set of games for you, was it not?
Yeah, it's pretty easy stuff.
Okay, I'm
Is
gonna.
that what you just said?
I'm gonna ask something first. Did with S4 in calculus, did calculus say something about S4's mother or sister or something earlier on? Because it seemed like he had it in for him. Like, I mean, really, really badly.
I don't know. I think they're good friends. I didn't read the chat. I don't think that happened.
Uh,
Maybe it.
I'll just say the amount that S4 decided to gank the absolute hell out of calculus, chasing him everywhere and anywhere he went, was pretty silly. But I'm gonna say this much: game number 2, I was really worried for you guys. I saw that line, I saw Dirge. I remember exactly how much trouble you had against him with the Sven beforehand. What was different this match, this time around? How did you set about handling that lineup they had? It was just really early team fight oriented.
Well, once we saw the cutout TXT, we knew they were gonna aggressive trialing with maybe the zombie. So we decided to like we thought they were gonna get a really strong solo hero like such a Shadow Fiend. Well, we didn't predict Shadow Fiend. We predicted like Queen of Pain or something like that to go against the Bounty Hunter top. We expected them to believe that the Bounty Hunter was going top when we sent him middle. And so we went aggressive trialing and dodged the trialing completely, and we just killed the Shadow Fiend at level 1. And they were forced to change their lanes like randomly, and we changed our lanes randomly. I think it confused the game like crazy, so the Shadow Fiend was prone to getting ganked by Leshrac and me.
So do you feel in that game they were mostly outdrafted more than anything else?
It's not about it's more about the lane. Lanes more so than the draft, like what we did with the lanes.
Okay, so just musical lanes. So, say you were in their shoes, right, and the enemy team started playing musical lanes with you. How would you deal with it?
Um, let's say they went short lane and we went aggressive. Then if their Shadow Fiend was solo bottom, like long lane Shadow Fiend, which like we did not expect, like there's no way that's happening, right? But if they did do that against our Bounty Hunter, or against our Syllabur, I think it would be fine with that, because we gave a lot of items to our Bounty Hunter. He had a permanent shield, a branch, and we gave him 10 golds and flask. He should be able to handle the Shadow Fiend, so I think we would have just stuck over our lanes
Okay, then.
and played it up.
And the Bounty Hunter versus Shadow Fiend, like, do you think it was mostly like the item pulling plus the level 1 gank that got him off to a good start, or do you feel that 1v1 with only their 600 gold, do you think Bounty Hunter is a viable solo mid versus the Shadow Fiend?
I think, well, if you're saying both heroes don't get pulled at all,
Yeah.
then the Shadow Fiend should like completely crush the Bounty Hunter. But when you give him a permanent shield, he should be able to just ignore the Shadow Fiend completely and tank the first 2 waves, and then get like I don't know, like 6 creep kills or something, and use a flask. So he should be okay for the first like 2 to 3, 4 waves. And after that, we expected to be able to gank the Shadow Fiend. So, but after that, like the Shadow Fiend should just crush the Bounty Hunter. But since we kept ganking him, that wasn't the case.
Okay. And in game one, number 1, you guys, it looked like you were struggling for a little bit, but in the end, Loda managed to catch up on his farm. Do you think part of what contributed to your victory there was just they slacked off the pressure on Loda and just let him go and farm top in the jungle by himself with that Midas?
Well, it was really difficult for them to put pressure on us since our Bat Rider was, I think he was completely dominating top, so he had a really early Blink Dagger. Our Darkster was farming a lot. He had like a mech and a pipe, I think like 20 minutes in or something like that, like crazy fast. And with 2 of our heroes being that farm, it was really difficult to put pressure on our Nax. Also, we knew that we would be able to hold them off, so Aloda suggested getting a Midas, and we agreed with it. And the Midas helped them catch up. Being
Okay.
went straight Midas after boots.
Okay, I've got a question here from Darklin XP. He says, NTH is doing well, beating the likes of Empire and Navi. Would you consider your team in the top 3 with these other 2 games?
The top 3 in Europe or top 3 in overall outside of China, right?
I'm going to say outside of China because the Chinese are just crazy.
If you say outside of China and outside of Asia, then maybe. I think like Empire and Navi are in the top 3 for sure, but we just lost to EG, so... And EG just beat Dignitas 2-0 and they beat us 2-0. So I would put EG in the top 3, and I would not put us in the top 3.
Okay,
It's possible though.
I've got a question here from Trolling Streams on Justin. He says, do you play anything other than Rubik and Disruptor?
I do, but if you don't want to ban my Rubik, which is like my signature hero, then I'm gonna take it.
Fair enough then. We saw
I
you have some,
like
yeah, we saw you with some quick fingers tonight, stealing a couple of Ravages as well as the Magnus ult. Now, I've got
the hells. I kept sending them up the hells.
Oh
but they were
yeah.
angry.
Oh yeah. I've got a question here from MK Hell says, when are you putting Meepo on Admiral Bulldog?
Um, when he gets good at Dota. I don't know. Like I hate that hero. I hate that hero.
Okay, fair enough then. Yeah, yeah, Meepo obviously not huge in the current scene because a lot of people feel there's a lot of heroes out there that currently counter him pretty badly. But as is, I would love to see a Meepo in the hands of some pros there.
He's gonna get Psyblade by TA. He's gonna get like Iron Shelled or Vacuumed by Darkseid. He's gonna get pulled by Batrider. Magmus ultied. Like all these Spend, like Cleave. All these heroes that are picked right now can just completely crush him. I don't see him in the metagame for a while until like a next big patch, and not just like buffing Meepo per se, like more like nerfing the other heroes.
Okay. Now, say you can't get your hands on the Sven or the Nax. Obviously, you guys, you like to play those semi-carry, aggressive strength semi-carries. If you couldn't get your hands on the Sven or the Tiny, I'm gonna say the big three currently: Sven, Tiny, Nax, and Chaos Knight. If you couldn't pick one of them, what would you sort of look to instead?
I kind of forgot. We were actually originally not planning on picking. Oh wait, we were gonna pick the Phantom Assassin, I believe, or the Phantom Lancer. That was what we were supposed to do, because honestly, we found out that like no matter how much, even if we win all the games, we wouldn't get any prize or anything like that. So we kind of took it as practice, and we were going to try out the Phantom Assassin, but we didn't want to give them Sven because that hero is really strong. But yeah, that's what we would have took, the Phantom Assassin or Phantom Lancer.
Okay then. Well, I think it just about concludes it for tonight. Let me just check what's coming up next for No Tidehunter. Okay, you have a game on the 18th. It will be against Dignitas. Got any thoughts on that upcoming match?
Yeah, it's a good chance for us to get our revenge, especially in a best of 3. They did beat us in a best of 1 in, I think, Join Dota, where we played really awful in the very beginning of the game, and that crucial mistake, if you watch the game, we got like team wiped, and then they got a free Roshan. After that, we almost came back, but we were unable to do so, and we really want revenge for that.
Alright, I'll put that one down as a grudge match, Sam, but would you like to give a shout out to any of your streams or Twitch channels or stuff before we go?
Shout out to my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/EternalEnvy with 2 Y's in the end. I'm not gonna give a shout out to anybody else, because I'm gonna get in trouble, because I keep forgetting people.
Alright then, thanks for coming to the show, and good luck with your next match. Hopefully you can crush Dignitas in that revenge match.
Biased commentator?
A little bit, sometimes a little bit. I like people who use crazy. Oh wait a minute. One last question. The Spirit Breaker man. What the hell, man? What was up with the Spirit Breaker man?
I had like 1 bonus time or something, and I was like, do I care what I banned? Not really. So I just banned like the first hero that I saw, basically. Same with the second ban. I forgot what I banned last. It was also a random ban.
Okay.
Spirit Breaker, like Treant or something.
It was something that made a little bit more sense than Spirit Breaker, but still, yeah. Anyway. Alright, thanks for coming on, and I'll see you on the 18th.
Yeah, see ya.
Alright guys, that was Eternal Envy from No Tidehunter. Always good to talk to him.